If you've been following my YouTube channel for a while, then you may remember a few years ago when Land Rover debuted the new Velar model, I gave my full review of the car, as well as my opinion, which was that it was a pretty solid contestant among the luxury SUV segment. However, I believe this car might deserve a second look, and that's why I've come back to the Land Rover dealership to give my full review of it once more and talk about the exterior styling it offers, as well as the incredible interior with tons of technologies and options that come as standard on the car and make it possibly the best luxury SUV for under $60,000. We're going to be discussing all that and more in this full review, so make sure to stick around till the end and let's get right into it. Now, if you come to the Land Rover dealership to take a look at the Velar and maybe go for a test drive, one of the things you're going to notice is that it looks pretty similar to all the other cars in Land Rover's lineup. They have a very distinct design language and style, and that kind of results in their cars looking very, very similar to each other. They're all kind of the same size, kind of the same shape, and it just kind of mixes together when you don't know the lineup that well. But one very easy way to tell the Velar apart from their other models is going to be with the standard LED self-leveling headlamps, and they come with a very cool feature that is this bright white highlight daytime running lamp throughout the entire headlight. It has a very distinct look to it, either during the day or during the nighttime. You can immediately tell what that headlight looks like. It's very distinct, especially from the other models in Land Rover's lineup. So if you see those headlights, those go with the Velar, and that's how you know what model you're looking at. Now, some other cool things you're going to find in the front of the car that are, shared with basically every other Land Rover include the foil stamped gloss black grille that is available with silver kind of chrome type accents as we see on this model. I really like how the Land Rover badge is inset so perfectly into that grille. And of course, we have the classic Range Rover text all along the hood to remind everyone that this is a Range Rover. They are proud of the brand, and so they display it very proudly on the front of this car. Now, a few interesting things you're going to notice about the Velar is that the front end can look a little bit different depending on what model you're looking at. So this right here is the upgraded V6 engine R dynamic trim level, and it comes with more vents on the front of the car, some aggressive strakes with bronze accents, and some really cool things that make it look more aggressive and improve cooling. But if we were to take a look at the base S model right next to this R dynamic, you'll see that it does not have those extra vents. It does not have these side strakes. It's just a little bit more basic and plain because it doesn't need that extra cooling for the 4-cylinder. But now that you know how to tell the Velar apart from the other models in Land Rover's lineup, and you know how to tell the Velars apart from each other, we can move along to the side of the car where some of the real features start. And as you can tell, when the car is locked, it will automatically forward the side mirrors in to avoid getting dings or dents on them and give the car a more sleek look when it's parked up at events. And speaking of a sleek look and things that automatically move and fold, it also comes standard with flush deployable door handles that will pop out when you unlock the car and then fold back in when you lock it or start driving to reduce wind noise and improve aerodynamics. Okay, one last feature I'd like to mention on the side of this car involves these big wheels right here. As you can see, they're available in a variety of different styles, but the sizes range from 19 inches in diameter all the way to 22 inches depending on which model you pay for. And to finish things off, the rear of the car comes with more LED taillights, a bit of a hidden design with the exhaust tips, and a bit of a spoiler lip that is going to help protect the rear window from dirt and dust and also give the car a more sleek look from the side. But one last really cool feature that you're going to find on the exterior of the Velar is a little bit more hidden than the others. It's a really cool special Land Rover Velar badge that shows a silhouette of the car that is only visible once you open both doors. And that's a pretty cool secret. It doesn't do much where it is, but I think it shows a little bit of attention to detail, and it really shows that Land Rover wants their cars to stand out a little bit from the rest, and in general, it's just a really cool badge. Now, as I said in the beginning of this review, it has been a few years since I last sat in a Velar, and I was actually pleasantly surprised getting back into it. There's a ton of really nice materials all around this interior. It feels pretty high quality for the price, and it comes with a ton of standard technologies all around the car. So not only do you have the infotainment system up on the center console, a 10-inch infotainment touchscreen with standard Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, but right below that you have another 10-inch screen to control things like the vehicle settings and the AC controls, and even adjust the seats to some degree. But it extends far, far beyond that, because beneath that screen we have two little rotary knobs, and these knobs actually do a number of different things depending on what settings you have selected and what you're doing in the infotainment system at the time. But to keep everything nice and clear and concise for you so you know what they do at the right moment, they come with even more screens inlaid into them. But if you thought that was it, well, you're still wrong, because there are even more screens moving on to the steering wheel. It comes with the classic kind of hard square shaped Range Rover design with soft perforated leather on either side, but it also comes with a screen on either side. These are a series of buttons that will illuminate once the car is turned on and act sort of like another touchscreen. And obviously this is a modern 2019 model, and that means there is another screen for the gauge cluster. It is a 12.3-inch system capable of displaying a variety of different features that you might need to access while you're driving. But moving along to the different ergonomics in this interior and some of the hard set features, it comes standard with soft leather seats that come standard with 4-way power lumbar adjustments. On the center console area, you're going to find a change drawer, a cup holder, as well as a hidden sliding door, which is opened by pressing the Land Rover badge right there, and that folds back to reveal another cup holder. So there's one for each passenger, just like every other car on the market. Now, some more really cool technology they've integrated into this interior involves the gear selector. Like many manufacturers, they've gotten rid of the big bulky stick on the center console area that takes up too much space and restricts access to the cup holders. Instead, it is a rotary knob that lowers itself when the car is off and raises itself when the car is on. So again, they've done a great job of kind of creating a clean design throughout this interior, but once you hit the switch and turn this car on, it's going to transform itself into something that's really practical for everyday use. And speaking of practicality and everyday use, another one of my favorite features involves this center armrest. Rather than having one large armrest, they split it into two sliding sections that can be moved back and forth individually, and this is really going to reduce arguments with the front seat passengers, because now they both have their own space for their own arms, and that's just attention to detail and practicality. Now, one small downside that does take a little bit away from the practicality of the Velar is going to be the rear seats. This is not a 3-row car, it only has 2 rows, and the second row is honestly pretty small. If you're under 6 foot, you could fit pretty comfortably, but I'm not under 6 foot, and it is just a tad bit cramped for me. But it does make up for that with a ton of cargo space back behind the power moving tailgate. And I'm stuck in here now. Now, what's really cool about the Velar is that Land Rover offers it with a ton of different options for the car's powertrain. In the base models, you're just going to be finding a 2-liter turbocharged inline 4-cylinder engine with around 250 horsepower, but they also offer an upgrade in the R Dynamic model that has a 3-liter supercharged V6, so that's 2 extra cylinders, and that produces around 340 horsepower, which is almost 100 more. But if that's still not enough performance, they also offer an SVO model, which is essentially a performance edition that has a 3-liter supercharged V8 engine. That is going to be a pretty rare model because of the cost. And for the more practical of you, they also offer a more efficient diesel version of a few of these engines, such as the 4-cylinder diesel found in this Velar. If you guys enjoyed this quick review, make sure to check out some similar videos I've done of similar cars in this segment or from Land Rover by either clicking on the screen right there or by going ahead and checking out my channel and subscribing. I'd also like to extend a shout out to Reeves Land Rover here in Tampa for allowing me to review these Velars today. I'll put a link to their inventory below, and as always, thank you so much for watching. This is the new 2018 Land Rover Range Rover Velar, and at first glance, yeah, it's a pretty nice SUV. But then when you look closer, there are a lot of really fine details that set it apart from the rest. Under the hood, it's powered by either a turbocharged i4 engine or a V6 with twin vortex supercharger. Now the i4 produces only 247 horsepower and 269 pound-feet of torque, but if you opt for the supercharged V6, that goes up to 380 horsepower and 332 pound-feet of torque. And that power is sent through an 8-speed automatic transmission before it goes to all 4 wheels. So it has an all-wheel drive system, and that makes it really good for off-roading. Now, a couple things about the all-wheel drive system is that it's variable, so it can send some of the torque to the back wheels or some to the front, and it actually has the ability to send all the power to the front wheels, 100% of the power to the front wheels, to help in low grip situations when maybe your rear tires can't connect with the road. So while this isn't my favorite SUV, it's got a pretty fantastic mix of off-roading capability and luxury and comfort, and that's really what Land Rover is all about.